Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Write down these two questions. It is for basing on the infinite circuit, and it is some one more model. It will be helpful because it is there NCERT also. It is the NCERT question now. Whatever I am writing, that is the NCERT question. It is infinite circuit. Infinite circuit. Before we have solved one of the circuit, like when they have given the series.
The first diagram is different question and second.
Yes, second one is different. Yes. Find the capacitance of this arrangement.
So what's the first question, sir?
Find out capacitance of this series, of the infinite circuit. N number of electrons are there. N number of capacitors are there. Find out the capacitance of this. Capacitance of the following. Find the capacitance of the following circuit. Is the circuit one of the circuit? I didn't give everything. Like it is infinite. Hello. Class లో మళ్ళీ కాల్ చేస్తాను.
So each capacitor has what is the capacitance?
Each capacitance is C. Each capacitance is C. It is the first question, and this type of did already we did. It will be like we know C equivalent equal to 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6 plus and so on. For that GP we have used A by 1 minus R method. Like that only this we can solve. Once see that what formula we can use for that. And next one is this. See, remember they have given capacitor in terms of plate. So capacitor of a plate, single plate, due to the single plate, how much capacitance we will get? We have formula, right? Parallel plate capacitor. This is the formula we will use here. And these capacitors are arranged in a parallel. Remember that. When they have given plate, immediately you should remember this formula. Why? Because it is the area of the plate and it is the distance between the two plates. Here distance is there between the two plates. Here distance is there between two plates. Here also distance is there between two plates. So definitely you can use. See that is the concept. Once if you, when you are reading the question, if you are seeing capacitance, which formula we have to use? They have given plate. Immediately first formula you should remember this one. That is C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. Otherwise if they have given Q and V, if you want to calculate capacitance, one more formula is there, right? To calculate energy, C is equal to Q by V, C1. So what they are giving, on that we have to take the formula. Here they have given plates. So area they given and the distance between two plates they given. Immediately there is a one formula, that is C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. C1. How much C1? Can you? Okay. Shall we start this or this one? I hope you can do this very easily. Why? Because C equivalent equal to how much will you get for this? First one. How much it is?
C.
Okay, C means 1 I will take. Second one, 2C.
And 1 by 2.
Not 1 by 2. It is in the parallel. We have to just add, right?
2C, sir.
Yeah, 2C. So C, 2C. Here,
4C.
4C.
4C. Now see, C equivalent equal to 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus next 6 plus 8 plus and so on. For this, what is the method for GP? N into N minus 1 by 2. How many will be there? N number of capacitors are there. That is only the answer. N they didn't give, so you don't have to do anything. C, yeah, each and every capacitor is C. N means N number of, if they have given 20, 30 or something, then we can. When they have given in series, then A by 1 minus R. Remember, when they have given in parallel, this is the formula.
So why can't we use A by 1 minus R?
A by 1 minus R, huh?
Yes, sir. That's also the sum of infinity.
C means 1 by, no, here that is infinite, right?
Yes, sir.
Infinite circuit, and R is the distance between these two. So if you place that, you won't get. So here n number of n capacitors are there. There I didn't mention n, right? Just I given infinite. Here I mentioned n. If I have given any like infinite, then we can use. Here n I given, so we have to write. We have to use this formula.
If it is infinite, then our answer will be minus C. So
Yes.
it's not correct, right?
Infinite means what will happen? 1 by 1 minus. How much gap? This is the distance between these two. Like 2.
2, sir.
Two.
A2 by A1.
Huh?
2.
Yeah, it will be 2, right? So 1 by.
Negative, sir. So
Yeah,
that's
negative.
not possible, right?
Yes, yes. So when they have given the series, use this. When they have given the parallel, use this. If they have given any n, what is the how many capacitors they have given? We can substitute there.
Okay, sir.
Try to solve this. How much C1? C equivalent equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. There are 3 plates they have given. What is the C1 here? Epsilon naught. Anybody? Can you say what is the C1?
A by 3.
A by 3 by
D.
B.
D. So it will become epsilon naught A by 3D, right?
D. Yes, sir.
Yeah. C2 how much?
Epsilon naught A by 3D.
Epsilon naught A by 3 by
6D. 6D.
yes. It is nothing but 2D.
2D.
From up to here is D. It will be the D. So total is 2D. So it will become like epsilon naught A by 6D. C3 how much? Epsilon naught
9D.
A by 3 and 3D. So it will become epsilon naught A by 9D. Yes, 9D. Feel like this is in the parallel. Calculate that. C equivalent equal to?
C1 plus C2 plus C3.
Yeah, C1 plus C2 plus C3. So epsilon naught A by 6D plus epsilon naught A by 9D. So epsilon naught A by 3D, we can take it common, right? C equivalent equal to epsilon naught A by D, if you take common, 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 plus 1 by 9. What is the LCM for that? Epsilon naught A by D. 18 is LCM. 6, 3 plus 2. Okay, finally 11 epsilon naught A by 18. See one? LCM is 18. Yeah, LCM will be 18. This 3, 6 times, 6 into 1. Okay. 3 times, 3 into 1. 2 times, 2 into 1. Yeah, 9, 11. Correct. Did you understand that type of model also they can ask? It is there in your textbook, I hope. NCERT level.
There are doubts, sir.
Tell me more.
I didn't understand how they are in parallel.
This they have given the parallel. Like, see, we can't make it is a series. We can't make it is a series because it is in the form of states, right? So if you want to apply potential, where will you apply potential? So definitely we have to make a series capacitor. For each and everything, we have to make a.
The I will be the same throughout, right?
I will be the.
Same throughout in that first figure. If we.
I won't be the. You
It
can't
should
decide that this is the path of.
Yeah, sir. If that is the path, then it's a series connection, right?
Yeah, that is the path in series connection, but we have to take it as a parallel. If it is connected, so it can't be like this. Then how can we give connection for this? No, it will be in the parallel only. We can't give in the series connection.
Yes, sir.
Simon, how can we give connection? No. It will be parallel. Obviously, it is parallel. Series, it is not there in this manner, right? It is not there in this manner. It is in the plate form. Series, ma. Sorry, it is a parallel. If they have given that state in this manner, maybe we can think. That is also it will be parallel. If current is flowing in one direction, that is you are calling series, right? But
Yes,
it will be in the parallel.
Okay, sir.
Parallel plate capacitor. It will be in parallel maximum, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Keep in mind this question. Okay, how many members of you solved that PDF file? Whatever we sent first PDF.
Yes, sir.
How many members of you solved? Tell me what are the doubts? Which questions you got doubt? The question numbers can you tell? Anuradh,
Yes, sir.
how many questions you solved from that PDF?
So I didn't solve yesterday. I had
Okay,
solved
fine, fine.
already 35.
Okay, sure. Anjali? Okay, today everyone try to solve that. Whatever
Yes,
the questions you are getting doubt, then question numbers you have to tell me in the next class, okay?
yes, sir.
So the question number 33, I have a doubt, sir.
Okay, question number 33. Fine, only one. Likita? Risha?
Yes, sir.
Did you start solving that PDF?
Yes, sir.
Did you get any doubt?
Not yet. I actually haven't completed it. So I don't have any doubts yet.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's see, ma'am. Current electricity. Till now we have discussed about static electricity. Means when the charge is at rest, what will happen? It produces potential, it produces electric field, how to calculate that electric field due to single charge, everything we have discussed. Now our topic is current electricity, means electrodynamics, not electrostatics. Electrostatics we completed till now. Now we are going to start electrodynamics, nothing but flow of charges. Let's start. Small introduction. Introduction. See, once what is the introduction? We know we have our nature is filled with matter and energy. Matter is nothing but solid, okay, liquid, and gas. These are the three types of matter actually. At a normal temperature, we can see these three states of matter. Okay, and plasma is there, that fourth state of matter. It is not in the ordinary temperature. Okay, it is very at a high temperature. We can see that matter. Whatever it may be, this is the matter we can get in our daily life. Now see, it is made up of molecules. It is also made up of molecules. Gas also made up of molecules. Let's see, molecules. Molecules forms matter. Molecules are made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of subatomic particles. Subatomic particles, like we know electrons, proton and neutron. Not only electrons, protons and neutrons, so many subatomic particles will be there. But the main things are like protons, electrons and neutrons. If you see this atom structure, it will be in this manner. This is the proton. Positive charge is nothing but proton. It will be the neutron, neutral charge or chargeless. The combination of this proton and neutron is called our nucleus. It is called nucleus. Now, in this nucleus, protons are there, neutrons are there. So, these two we will call as nucleons. Nucleons. What are the nucleons? Protons and neutrons. Between the proton and neutron, there will be a very strong force in the universe. Nuclear force. Nuclear force is the very strongest force in the universe. How much strong? We can't even separate proton and neutron. That much very strongest force is there. So that is the reason we know that protons cannot move. And it is called our nucleus. Around the nucleus, electrons will revolve in their orbits, like see. And we know that if there is a proton and there is an electron, attraction force will be there between these two, because it's a positive and it is a negative. And when the distance is increasing, attraction force decreases. So feel that it is the outermost electron. Outermost electron, that means there is no any effect on this electron due to this nucleus. So what will happen? This electron freely moves. It will move freely, randomly. If we give small amount of energy to this electron, it will come out. It will come out. The flow of these electrons, which electrons? Free electrons. The flow of free electrons causes current. So protons cannot move. But when we are drawing the circuit, I will show you. Current direction we will give positive to negative. But current direction is negative to positive. Electrical current, there are two types of current. One is conventional current. Second one is electrical current. Electrical current direction is negative to positive. It is inside the material. But outside, whatever we are showing that is conventional current. So what is the meaning of that? I will tell you. Now see, the flow of free electrons causes current. Okay. Simply we will write the rate of flow of charges. Rate of flow of charges. Which charges? Free electrons. Okay. And suppose if you feel you are sitting in the bus, when the bus is moving, outside surroundings also appears that the surrounding things like trees and everything are moving backside of you. When you are moving forward, it looks like trees are going backside. Like that, if you take one of the metal, one of the conductor, in this conductor, electrons will be there and protons will be there. When electron is moving, suppose electron is moving in this direction, you will feel that proton also moving in this direction. Actually, originally, protons cannot move, but it appears like that. That is the reason conventional current. So positive to negative is conventional current, negative to positive is electrical current. There are two types of current. Do you understand what is current? Anirudh,
Yes, sir.
did you understand what is current? Here free electrons can move, protons cannot move, because protons are bounded with neutron with a strong nuclear force. That nuclear force is the very strongest force in the universe.
So neutrons cannot move in electrical.
Yes, cannot. Neutron has no charge only first. Okay, neutral charge. And neutrons and protons are combined. That is called, it forms a nucleus. So it cannot move. Only electrons can move. That also not bounded electrons. These electrons are called bounded electrons because there is an attraction force between nucleus and electrons. So these electrons cannot move, bounded. Free electrons can move. That is also free electrons moves randomly. But if you give small amount of energy to this electron, that free electron, it comes out from the atom and it can move in the particular direction. Okay, suppose if you take metal, if you don't apply anything, like it is the ordinary metal. Now conductor is a conductor. In this conductor, what will be there? There are electrons. These electrons move randomly. The random movement of electrons cannot cause any current. To cause current, electrons should move in a particular direction. So if there is an electron, if we say electron has to move, it cannot move. You have to apply some external energy. If you give some external energy, like if I apply one of the potential difference, then these electrons will travel in a particular direction, like negative to positive. Until you apply any external force, electrons cannot move. It will move, but randomly. That is, that time there is a current, thermal current. There is a current, thermal current. Okay, so there is the introduction to current. Current means the flow of charges. Which charges? The charges are free electrons. Why only free electrons can move? Because there is no any effect of nucleus on the free electrons. If you give small amount of energy, it can come out. Protons cannot move because there is a strong nuclear force. Nuclear force is the very strongest force in the universe. So we can't separate the protons and neutrons. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Hello?
No doubts.
Yeah. Now write the definition for current. The rate of flow of charges. Actually, flow of charges causes current. Okay, flow of charges. So current. Denoted with letter I. The rate of flow of charges. Causes current. Okay. The rate of flow of charges means I is equal to Q by T. The time rate of flow of charges causes current. Current is measured in ampere. Now see, this formula I can write like I is equal to NE by T. If they have given charge, we know I equal to plus or minus NE, that Q equal to plus or minus NE, that we have discussed. Electron, a charge cannot exist alone. It is the integral multiple times the charge present in it from the first lesson. We can write like this, or we can. If you want to find out the average current, I average equal to change in charge by, this is the average current. Delta Q by delta T is the average current. If you want I instantaneous current, we have to apply some limit. That limit, delta T tends to 0. Delta T tends to 0. That means delta T is not 0. It is nearly equal to 0 but not 0. So time limit will become very, very, very small. Time is there, but it's very, very small. Negligible amount of time is there. So we can't write it is delta T is 0. Delta T nearly equal to 0. So delta Q by delta T. So we can write dQ by dt. It is a instantaneous current. I instantaneous current at a particular time. That is the instantaneous current. Two, you can write 3, 4. Write these 4 steps. The rate of flow of charges causes current. That current I is equal to Q by T. This formula we can write I is equal to plus or minus NE by T. And if you want to calculate average current, that means the delta Q by change in charge by change in time. If you want to calculate I instant, means instantaneous current, limit we have to apply. That limit is delta T tends to 0. That means it is not 0, nearly equal to 0. Time limit will be very, very small. Delta Q by delta T. It will become dQ by dt. Here time is a very, very small. That is called instantaneous. That current at a particular time. Okay. So current is measured in ampere. Charge is measured in coulomb. And time is measured in second. It is the MKS unit. MKS units. Now, in terms of CGS, if you want to write a one stat ampere, static ampere. That means static means rest. So one stat ampere, one stat coulomb by 1 second. It is the CGS unit. In terms of electrostatics, we can write units for the current, that is 1 stat ampere equal to 1 stat coulomb by 1 second. According to electrostatics, relation between relation between 1 ampere and 1 stat ampere. 1 ampere equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 9 stat ampere. These are the units for current. Okay? Kavya,
Sir,
any doubt?
no doubt, sir.
Okay. Likita? Ritesh?
Yes, sir.
Ritesh, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Bhanu Prasad? Dhanush? Dhanush? Rachana?
Sir,
Did you understand, mother?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now see. This is the topic they have given in our textbook. Now, whatever the topic I'm going to explain, it is not there in our textbook, but useful for competitive examination. And some of the topics, it can be there in the electrochemistry. It will be useful for chemistry also. Now, case 1. When if they have given charge and time, we can calculate current very easy. That we can calculate. Suppose case 1. Case 1. What will happen? They have given one of the conductor. In that conductor, n number of electrons are flowing in t seconds. N number of electrons are flowing in t seconds. Calculate current means I is equal to Ne by T. We know that. We can calculate. This is also we can calculate. Now, my question is that I will take as a case 2. Current is moving linearly. Current is moving linearly, like a line it is moving. Current is moving not like 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, 4 electron, not like that. Continuously it is moving like a linearly. So in that type of situation, how much current is flowing in 1 second? How can we calculate? That's what our question. Okay, so now see, charges are flowing with velocity v. Okay, and how many charges are there? How many charges are there? Lambda equal to charge by length. We know that. How many charges are there? How can we calculate? It is a linear charge. So linear charge density lambda is equal to charge by length. From this, charge equal to length, lambda into L. Now these charges are moving linearly with velocity v. In 1 second, t equal to 1 second, how much of current is flowing? If they ask you like that, first we have to write our general formula. Current I is equal to Q by T. This is the formula. Now we have to calculate Q. How much Q is there? That Q is in t equal to 1 second, sir. T equal to 1 second. How much distance it will travel? How much velocity equal to distance by time? Let t equal to 1 second. So distance itself velocity, right? And t equal to 1 second. So I is equal to lambda v. In t equal to 1 second, How much distance travel? V distance. What is the charge? Length. Here distance. L is the length. So take V, because in 1 second V distance it travels. From this, D is equal to V itself. So we can take like T equal to 1 second. Charge is moving in 1 second. How much charge is moving means lambda into V. This much of charge is flowing in 1 second. That is called current itself, because here we have taken time equal to 1 second. Anirudh? No. Danish?
Sir?
Danish, any doubt?
No, sir.
Did you understand? When the charges are moving linearly, in 1 second, how much distance charges can move? V distance. Because in 1 second, when time is 1 second, distance itself velocity, or velocity itself the distance. So we calculate V, distance equal to V. So in 1 second, how many charges are moving means lambda into V. This is the current form when they have given charges in linearly.
Time is
Tell me, ma.
so time is always 1 second, sir.
Now we have taken time equal to 1 second. If they have given time for 2 seconds, 3 seconds like that, substitute that. That time what will happen? V into how much time they have given, that much. Hello?
That time also will get lambda V only, sir.
Yeah. Danish?
Sir, case one was for which, sir?
Fourth one.
Case one.
Danish, your voice is not reaching to me.
Case one.
2 if you place 2, substitute here, T equal to 2, 2 will get cancelled, again you will get lambda V.
Sir, how is that 2, sir?
Now how much charge is flowing, lambda into V, time equal to 1 second. If time, now here, time equal to 2 seconds, so 2V equal to D. So in this place, lambda 2V. So charge equal to lambda 2V. Time how much? 2 seconds. So substitute lambda 2V by 2. 2 to get cancelled, again you will get lambda V. You will get the same thing. Case 3. Charges are moving means superficial charges. Aerial charge, superficial charge density is also called aerial charge density. Now charges are moving with velocity V, and it is a bed. So at t equal to 1 second, how much distance it will travel? This charges, how much distance it will travel means V distance. Look at that. When it is moving perpendicularly like this, when it is moving in t equal to 1 second, how much distance it can travel? V distance. Right? So again, I is equal to Q by T. Now calculate charge. It is a aerial charge density because charges are moving in terms of area. Superficial charges. So sigma equal to charge by area. Then charge area equal to, now area, length into breadth. Length into breadth. Now what is the length? How much length it traveled? How much length it can travel in 1 second?
V.
D. That is equal to Q. Now I equal to T equal to 1 second, right? So
Sir, in
sigma.
place of L, you put
Yeah, in place of length, because it has to travel. It will travel distance. That length it will travel. How much length it can travel means in T equal to 1 second, V, the velocity itself, it will become length. That means distance. These all charges will flow from here to here in 1 second. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Chirag? Harsh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Sir?
I can't hear you. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Harsh, did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Danush?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand, mother?
Yes, sir.
Kushi?
yes, sir.
Kushi, did you understand, na? Or any doubt?
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay. Means when they have given, when the charges are moving in terms of superficial charges, like aerial charge, then we have to use this type of formula. I is equal to sigma B, means breadth. V is the length travel in 1 second, or distance travel in 1 second. Because at that time we can't use, no, I is equal to Q by T, we can't use. Why? Because Q, how much? We have to use again Q. Time we have to take. Then you can. The case 3. Case 4. Case 4. Charges are moving. Volume charge range. Now volume, according to, like this, charges are moving. In this manner it is moving. It is the area. Area is A. And charges are moving perpendicularly through it to this area. Charges are moving in this direction with velocity V. Okay? So now charges are moving like this. This is the volume charge density. Now current calculated. I is equal to Q by T. Let density, the volume charge density, charge by volume. Take this volume. From this, charge equal to density into volume. Okay. Now what will happen? If T equal to 1 second, how much distance it can travel? V distance, am I right? Yeah, V distance it can travel. So the distance itself velocity. Right? The distance will become itself velocity. So D equal to is nothing but velocity. So area into velocity. Sorry, the area into distance. Here V means not velocity. V means the velocity will become itself distance. Volume. So Q equal to T equal to 1 second. Here T equal to 1 second. So I is equal to rho area V. What is this V here? Velocity itself, it is a distance. Before it is volume. This volume we have written like area into length. That length, how much length? It will be the velocity itself, it will be the length. So we have to place. When they have given in terms of volume. So remember, in terms of linear, I is equal to lambda V. In terms of area, sigma B V. In terms of volume, rho A B. Area, breadth. Okay? Kushi?
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Yes, sir.
Done still.
But second one was what, sir?
Second one, B, breadth. Because area, right? Length into breadth. Case 5. When a charge is revolving around the circular path, means charge is moving in terms of around the circle with frequency f. Calculate current. See what they are saying. One of the charge q, it is moving around the circular path. So it is moving in the circular path. What is with the frequency f? Calculate current. Again, I is equal to q by t. I is equal to, we know that frequency equal to 1 by time period. So I is equal to qf. If they have given frequency and if they ask you calculate how much current is passed, like what is the current, if they ask you, then it is the formula. There is a relation between current and frequency. When the charge is moving with certain frequency, how much current produces qf. Okay? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Lakshmi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remember, if they have given frequency and charge, how to calculate current? One more formula. Now see. Then tell me.
Sir, for volume, what was the formula, sir?
For what?
For volume.
Volume charge density. Like when charges are moving in terms of volume, current I is equal to rho A V.
Okay.
Yeah. And now they didn't give frequency. They have given the charge. It is moving with omega, means angular frequency, or angular velocity. Either it is moving with angular frequency, or we can say that angular velocity, when it is moving, how much of current produces? Calculate current. They have given charge. This charge is moving with this angular frequency or angular velocity. What is the current? We know that before the case we have calculated I is equal to QF.
There is this case 6, sir.
Case 6, yeah. The case 6. We have calculated this, we know. Now, omega is equal to 2 pi by T. From this, omega is equal to 2 pi F. From this, omega by 2 pi equal to F. When they have given angular frequency, that means they have given frequency. Now, we know that. Substitute equation 2 in 1, I equal to Q omega by 2 pi. It is the current formula. If they have given angular frequency or angular velocity of a charge, calculate current. That means first you have to, we know that omega equal to 2 pi by T, angular frequency. From this, omega is equal to 1 by T is nothing but frequency we have written. From this frequency equal to this. If we know frequency, we can substitute here. If we substitute, now if they have given in terms of angular frequency, we have to substitute that value. You will get the current. It is case 6. Okay. Kaushalya,
Yes, sir.
did you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Banu Prasad,
Yes, sir.
any doubt?
No, sir.
Chirag,
Sir. Sir.
okay. Now, case 7. So it is the final case, case 7. One of the charge hello,
Can you hear?
Chirag, I didn't get your voice is not hearing. I can't hear your voice. Hello, Chirag. Anybody can say what he is asking?
Also, his voice is breaking.
Okay. Look at this. Charge they have given. That charge is moving in the circular path with velocity v, that is the linear velocity, and they have given radius. Calculate how much current is passing. How much current? We have to calculate current now. So how can you calculate current now? Before the formula we written I is equal to Q omega by 2 pi, right? This is what we got in the previous. Now they have given linear velocity and charge is moving around the circular path. How much current it produces, like how much current we will get? We know that relation between relation between omega and v, means angular velocity and linear velocity. V is equal to r omega. So omega equal to v by r. Same thing, if you substitute 2 in equation 1, you will get current I is equal to qv by 2 pi r. If they have given radius and if they have given linear velocity, then how to calculate current? That is I is equal to qv by 2 pi r. Remember these cases? These cases are very helpful to solve some of the problems, because I is equal to q by t. With that formula, we can calculate for only per point, some point charges. But when the charge is moving with velocity v, how to calculate current? So that time we should know I is equal to qv by 2 pi r. Okay? Harsh?
Sir.
Harsh, any doubt?
No, sir. Understood, sir.
Tejaswini?
Sir.
Any doubt, ma?
No, sir.
Sanchit? Sanchit?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, ma?
No, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. Okay, these are some special cases to solve the problem. It is not these 7, whatever I said, the 7 cases, these 7 cases are not there in our textbook. It is not for CBSE, it is not for PUC, these are for competitive level examination purpose. Now look at this. If you take a one small conductor, conductor means electrons will be there, free electrons are more. If free electrons are less, semiconductor. If free electrons are very, very less, if there is no free electrons, means very less number of free electrons will be there. That is nothing but insulator. Okay. If it is the conductor, before there are some particles in this, and these are the rest. These particles are at rest. Like take a proton, feel like it is. These are the protons, and some of the electrons also will be there. Okay. Now these electrons move randomly. Before what will happen means, if you don't apply any potential difference. Potential difference means we know battery. EMF. See, I will tell you. EMF equal to potential difference. Potential difference. EMF equal to potential difference. But EMF means when the cell is not connected. If you take a cell, this cell we will call as a EMF, electromotive force. It can motivate the electrons so that electrons can move one place to another place. If this cell, if you connect in the circuit, it will become potential difference. Remember, both are same, volts and volts. We will measure in volts. It is also measured in volts. When the cell is not connected in the circuit, that is we will call as a EMF, electromotive force. Same cell, if you connect in the circuit, it will be the potential difference. Remember that, because you will listen so many times EMF and potential difference. You should not get any confused. What is EMF and what is potential difference? Just if I don't connect, EMF. If I connect, potential difference. That's all. Did you understand what the difference between EMF and potential difference? Yeah. So when I'm writing EMF, you should understand that I didn't connect in the circuit. If I connect in the circuit, it behaves as a potential difference. Now see, this is a conductor. In this conductor, some of the particles are there and electrons are there. These electrons will move randomly before applying any external force or before applying any potential difference. Once if I apply potential difference across the conductor, now these electrons will flow in this direction. What will happen means when I connected this when I applied potential difference, electric field will develop. That is from positive to negative. Electric field will develop. This is what we know. Now, when a electron is placed in the electric field, what will happen when the electron is placed in the electric field? Opposite direction it
Potential.
experiences force, right? According to first lesson. If you place a electron in the electric field, if you place a positive charge, force will act in along the direction of electric field. But on the electron, force will act opposite to the electric field. That is what we have placed one of the dipole in the electric field. When you place dipole in the electric field, if you take it is positive and it is negative charge, so the dipole cannot move in this direction. Dipole will move in this direction. Why? Because electric field will act force in the same direction. But on the negative charge, it will apply opposite direction. First lesson you should remember very clearly. Each and everything, whatever we learned in the first lesson, again we will revise. So when you place any electron in the electric field, if electron is negative charge, then opposite direction it experiences force. How much force is that? How much force it experiences? F is equal to? What is the force act on the electron?
1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R.
No. How much force will, when you place a electron in the electric field, on charge in the electric field, how much force will act on it?
EQ.
F is equal to?
EQ.
EQ. Because I place in the electric field, we know electric field equal to force per charge. From this force equal to EQ. Okay. Because I place in the electric field, I give an electric field and a given charge, calculate force, F is equal to EQ. Remember, that much of force is acting when you place a charge in the electric field. If you place an electron, it will act opposite direction but same amount of force. Now what will happen to this electron? Now electrons will travel. Electrons will move from one place to another place. When it is moving, it will strike the particles which are at rest. It will strike. Once if it is strike, it will lose a certain energy. Again, due to the potential difference, it will try to get that energy. It will again it will get a velocity. With that velocity, it will drift. When it is drifting, again it will collide with one more particle. Again, it loses some energy. Once if it is losing energy due to the potential difference, again it will drift towards the. Here, what is happening is the charged particle getting two types of motion. One is random and one is in a particular direction. See, when the electron is moving in the electric field, when you in the conductor, for the conductor, if you apply potential difference, so force will act on the electron. With that force, it is trying to move from negative terminal to positive side, opposite to the electric field. When it is going very freely, due to the other particles, the particles are at rest, it will collide. Once if it is collide, whatever the velocity is there, it loses some amount of energy and it will fall. Again, it will gain some energy due to potential difference. Again, it will again in the direction opposite to the electric field. Again, if it is collide with some other particle, again it will move. When it is moving in this direction, again it strikes here, it loses some energy, again it will come back. But due to potential difference, again, see once, whatever it may be, here the charged particle is getting two types of motion. One is random motion, one more is a particular direction it is moving. Okay, so what is happening when it is losing some of the velocity? With a small amount of energy, it is drifting towards the it is drifting opposite to the electric field. The minimum velocity with which a particle The minimum velocity with which a particle drifts toward opposite to the electric field, that is called drift velocity. Drift velocity. Drift velocity, VD. Drift velocity means the minimum velocity with which a particle drifts opposite to the electric field. Means one electron. Hello, Likita? Somebody. Voice is not reaching.
Sir, can you repeat, sir? Once the
Yeah, one
definition-
second, I will repeat it. Please listen with carefully, okay? See once. Look at this, nothing is there. Now, simply, it is a conductor. Electrons are moving in the randomly. But when I apply potential difference, on the electric field will develop. So, on the electron, force will act opposite to the electric field. So, now electron is trying to move in this direction. When it is due to this potential difference, it will get some amount of energy. With that energy, it is moving like this. Once it is moving with velocity, now it is going to accelerate. When it is going to accelerate, it will collide with one more particle. What will happen? Again, it loses some energy. It will go like this. After, due to this potential difference, again it will try to get that velocity. Okay, it is getting velocity. After getting velocity, again it is trying to accelerate. Again, when it is going to accelerate, it will strike with one more particle which is at rest. Again, it loses energy. Every time it will happen like this in the conductor. So, it is not accelerating. It is just getting velocity. When it is losing some amount of energy, with remaining some amount of energy will be there. Some amount of velocity will be there. With that velocity, it is turning opposite to the electric field. So, it is turning means it is drifting. The word I am using here in place of turning, I am using drifting. So, it is drifting to opposite to the electric field. So, that time, that particle having minimum velocity. So, the minimum velocity with which a electron drifts opposite to the electric field is called drift velocity. Hello?
So I have a doubt.
No, tell me more.
So when the particle collides with the other particle and it loses its energy,
Yes.
does the other particle also like gain some energy and will it also start moving?
No. That particles are at rest. Whatever it is losing energy, we know, right? Any current is passing through any wire. After that, if you touch that wire, you will feel little heat, right? Hot, right?
Yes,
It's lose energy in the form of heat, sir.
Yes. Whatever it is losing energy, that we will get in terms of heat. Okay. The other particles are at rest. Suppose we know, right? Just now we have discussed atom structure. That is the reason I explained you atom structure before. In that atom, protons and neutrons are at rest. Only electrons will move. When electron is moving, if any particle is at rest, it will strike with that. When it strikes, it will lose energy. That whatever it loses the energy, that we will get in the form of heat. Okay. So that is what we will call as a resistance also. What is the resistance? It is opposes the flow of current. That means if more number of particles are here, so that particles, what will happen means these particles cannot allow the electrons to move from one place to another place. Means negative to positive, it won't allow. Every time it will strike with one more particle, it loses energy. Again, it will strike with this, loses energy. So whatever the electrons are flowing, it will be less number of electrons. We will discuss that in the upcoming classes. Now you have to remember, when electron strikes the particle which is at rest, it loses some energy. Again, it will drift with the minimum velocity. That minimum velocity is nothing but drift velocity. Remember this up to the drift velocity. When I'm speaking about resistors, I will tell you clearly what will happen in the resistor. Sachina?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what is drift velocity?
Yes, I understood.
It is the minimum velocity with which electron drifts opposite to the electric field. Why it is drifting with minimum velocity? Because it is it is colliding with one more particle, it's losing energy. Kushi? Hello, Kushi?
Sir, can
Kushi, your voice is not reaching.
you repeat? Sir, can you repeat my?
Can I repeat once again? Anybody can explain what she is
No,
telling?
she's telling you to repeat it once again. sir.
Okay. See one. Yeah. Now, when electron is gaining velocity, when it is gaining, after gain, it is trying to accelerate. When it is going to accelerate, it will collide with one more particle present in the conductor. Once it is collide, it will lose some amount of energy, so it will come in this direction. After, due to this potential difference, again it will drift opposite to the electric field and again trying to get accelerate. But again it strikes with one more particle, it loses energy. So this process will continue in the same manner. Whenever it is drifting, whenever it is turning opposite to the electric field, it is turning with a minimum amount of energy, minimum amount of velocity. The minimum velocity with which a electron drifts opposite to the electric field, that velocity is called drift velocity. So you should remember, drift velocity means minimum velocity with which particle is drifting opposite to the electric field. Hello?
Oh,
Kushi?
Yes, sir.
Kushi, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, minimum velocity with which electron drifts opposite to the electric field. Okay. Now see, when electron is moving from here to here, is there any collision here? When electron is moving from here to here, there is no any collision in this place. Am I right? It is traveling some x1 distance without any collision, right?
Yes, sir.
It is called free path. Okay. It is what? x2. Again, after collision, it will come back again. It will try to go in this direction opposite to the electric field. Here also, from when it is coming from here to here, there is no any collision between this. It is also called free path. Free path means there is no any collision. The path between two successive collisions. It is a collision. There is a path between these two. Before collision, it will move freely. That path is called free path. It is x2 and it will be x3 and it is x4. So like that, how many will be there? Like x1 plus, x2 plus, x3 plus, x4 plus, and so on, plus xn. By n is called mean free path. Mean free path. Mean free path means the distance between the two successive collisions. Here n number of particles are there, n number of free paths are there. Total by average, total free paths by number of how many free paths are there. That average if you do, you will get a mean free path. Mean free path means before collision, particle covers certain distance, right? That is called free path. The average of the free path is nothing but mean free path, denoted with letter lambda. Kavya,
Sir?
did you understand free path?
Yes, sir.
Before collision, it will move with certain distance. It will move, right? The distance
Yes.
is called free path. Average of that free path is mean free path. That is denoted with a letter lambda, x1 plus x2 plus x3 and so on by n. Dhanush?
So your voice is breaking.
Okay. Dhanush?
Yes, sir.
Dhanush, did you understand mean free path?
Yes.
And there will be a certain time. In that time, there is a free path. Means there is no any collision. Here to travel from here to here, t1 time. From here to here, t2 time. From here to here, t3 time. And so on plus tn by n is called relaxation time. That time, the time interval between two successive collisions. Relaxation time.
Can't hear you, sir.
It is tau. Relaxation time is the time interval between two successive collisions. So before going to collision, it will travel some mean free path, some free path. So how much time it will take? t1 time. I'm going to get one more collision. Before collision between the two successive collisions, there will be a time. The time interval between the two successive collisions is called relaxation time, denoted with letter tau. Tau. Drift velocity equal to lambda by tau, means mean free path by relaxation time. It is just one formula. It is not related with the current. It is the original formula for drift velocity. After I will give you relation between current and drift velocity. Before that, mean free path by relaxation time is called drift velocity. Drift velocity is the minimum velocity, means it is a very small amount of energy, velocity. That velocity is 10 to the power of minus.
Can you repeat?
Which one? See, it is called free path. Why? Because there is no any collision. It is also one of the free paths. Mean free path is a sum of the paths, free paths by n. It is the mean free path. Relaxation time means the time interval between the two successive collisions. When it is going to collide, there is a time gap. That time gap is called relaxation time. And it is called average relaxation time.
Can you repeat it? So I got disconnected.
Okay, ma, Kushi, listen carefully, okay? Did you understand mean free path?
Yes, sir.
Mean free path, that means when the particle is moving before collision, it will cover certain displacement, right? Like the so many displacements will be there. The average of that free path is nothing but mean free path. When this collision is happening, before that it travels certain displacement, right? Some time it will take. That time interval is called relaxation time, means the time interval between two successive collisions. Before collision, it will travel certain displacement, so there will be some time. That time is called relaxation time. The time interval between two successive collisions is called relaxation time. Average relaxation time means T1, T2, T3, T4 and so on by n.
What is VD, sir?
Chirag,
What is VD?
VD, drift velocity. Drift velocity.
Okay, sir.
Drift velocity equal to mean free path by average relaxation time.
Sir,
Tell me, ma.
sir, what is that value, sir? 10 to the power minus 6.
Minus 6 meter per second is the drift velocity. Drift velocity is minimum velocity, right? Minimum velocity means very small amount of velocity, right?
Yes, sir.
That small amount of velocity is 10 to the power of minus 6 meter per second. That is the minimum velocity. Means with that velocity, a particle will drift.
The rate is fixed, sir.
It is
So the value is fixed.
very, very small. 10 to the power of minus 6 meter per second is a very small amount of velocity.
Sir,
Which
is it fixed? Oh,
it is fixed. It is the minimum velocity. It is fixed. Okay? Remember this. Only this topic will be like this. Remaining topics are very, very easy. So today we have learnt about what is current and how can we calculate current in different situations. After we have discussed about the drift velocity. When we are talking about the drift velocity is the minimum velocity with which electron will drift opposite to the electric field. Why electron has to drift? Because it will collide with some particle which is at rest. It loses some amount of energy. Again, it will try to gain that velocity. After gaining, so it will turn due to the potential difference. Again, it will turn opposite to the electric field. Again, it will strike with one more particle, it loses energy. Due to this potential difference, again, it will try to gain the velocity. So when it is turning opposite to the electric field, it having very minimum velocity, minimum amount of velocity. That minimum amount of velocity is called drift velocity. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anjali?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Dhanush?
yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. How many days it will take to complete second lesson, Dhanush? With that
Sir.
PDF.
Sir,
PDF. Dhanush, how many days it will take to complete that PDF? Nearly 30 problems, I think. 30 problems are there.
that first PDF, sir.
I didn't get.
So the
Yeah, first PDF. Yeah, first PDF.
sir, all.
No, it's not reaching your voice.
Sir, I should complete all, sir.
Yes, 38 problems are there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 38 problems are there. How many days it will take? Kushi?
Yes, sir. I completed that first one, sir.
First one you completed. Did you get any
Sir,
doubt?
not that 128 questions one, no, sir. The other one, no.
68, right?
Yes, sir. The 68 one.
Did you complete?
Yes, sir. That one I completed, sir.
Okay, you did you get any doubt or any difficult question is there in that?
Sir, I forgot, sir, because I finished it long time back.
Okay, good. Once see that, check once, okay? Before going to examination, revise that.
Okay, sir.
Anjali,
Yes, sir.
how many days it will take to complete the first PDF? Can't hear you.
So 3 more days. She's saying 3 days, sir.
Okay. So before examination, she can complete. Bhanu Prasad, Banu Prasad.
Sir,
Dhanush.
sir, that 211 questions, that one, sir.
Yes, sir. 68 questions will be there after IIT JEE problems will be there. Previous year questions. That one.
Sir, 3 or 4 days.
Okay. Before examination you can complete. Everyone can complete before examination, right?
Which examination, sir?
Examination will be next week, like Saturday.
Sir, objective or subjective, sir?
Objective, second objective test for the second lesson. We will prepare the subjective question paper later. Banu Prasad, I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Did you complete the first PDF?
Sir, almost finished, sir. Some 20 are there, sir.
What about doubts?
No, sir. One thing, sir. Only one question is there.
What is the question number?
Just a minute, sir.
Yeah. Nikita? Nikita, I can't hear you.
Sir, 33rd.
No, 33rd. Yeah, Rachna also told same thing. Okay,
No,
ma'am.
I have doubt, sir.
Yeah, 33rd, huh?
Yes,
Kushi?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Lakshmi? Lakshmi? See,
Kushi
try to
left,
complete.
sir.
How many? Okay, Kushi, Lakshmi. 33, I will explain you, Kushi. I will tell you that. Prisha?
Yes, sir.
Prisha, did you start that PDF?
Yes, sir.
Before examination you can complete, right?
Yes, sir.
See, by Friday everyone should complete that. By Friday. Friday night you have to say how many questions you have doubt. Saturday once we have to revise that and you can go to examination.
Sunday exam, sir.
Yeah, Sunday. Prepare nicely and whatever I said today just you have to revise. Tomorrow I will give the full clarity about this lesson. Okay?
Yes, sir.
But prepare very nicely. If you don't prepare, whatever we are teaching is not sufficient. You should prepare more than us. You should do hard work. Then only you can write any examination. Don't get anybody less marks in the next test. Each and every model problem we did. There is no any question we left. Almost all the models, important models, everything we completed. Once see each and every question and every model. Okay. And third lesson also we started. I don't know how many members of you completed subjective questions. You have a lot of work. Don't sit silently. Every day you have to read 1 hour, 1.5 hours you have to read. Then you can complete the portion. Okay? So see you in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Dhanush?
sir.
sir, that level 1 questions I completed half.
Okay. Good.
That I have to do that full 214 questions, sir.
Do, Dhanush, it's very helpful. After next time you no need to solve any problem, right?
Okay, sir.
With this time is enough to solve one by one lesson if you complete. After you no need to take any coachings and all. Easy for us. And almost all the methods I am explaining. More than enough that.
Okay,
Good,
sir.
Dhanush. Okay, read nicely.
Okay, sir.
Good, Dhanush. See you in the next class, man.